I would like to present my paper which entitled Interactive Art Therapy for Mental Health using Microsoft Kinect. This paper is written by me, Ruzinoor and Shumali Chamlong. We are from School of Creative Industry Management and Performing Arts, Universiti Utara, Malaysia. This is the outline of my presentation. I will start with introduction, continue with literature review, and objective, development of interactive art therapy, results, and finally the conclusion of my paper. As an introduction, mental illness has been one of the most common illness among people regardless of age today, also known as a mental disorders, which refers to different kinds of mental condition. Mental health is the level of psychological well-being or an absence of mental illness. Many people nowadays have been suffering especially from depression and anxiety. Mental health concern becomes mental illness when ongoing signs and symptoms cause frequent stress and affect by ability to function. Some of the researchers found that people commit suicide because they normally do not or cannot open up in verbal communication. That's why we try to propose interactive art therapy for a non-verbal communication. Verbal communication such as traditional therapy or counseling session. Due to this, the number of people who suffer from mental illness keep increasing from time to time. People having difficulties in expressing their feelings or just keep them to themselves and tend to take drugs or other dangerous medication to come. This is how important we need to have something that can help the mental illness person which have problem in non-verbal communication. Continue with the literature review. Microsoft Kinect allow in this project we are using Microsoft Kinect for developing our prototypes. As you know that Microsoft Kinect allow the users such as patient to interact with computer program, which known also as a user interface, and could be applied in many different types of medical settings such as for helping people in mental health illness using art therapy. That's what we're going to propose in this project. Some of the previous work on this conducts by Zhao et al., which doing experiments on 179 participants where they are required to walk on the footpaths naturally while shot by the Kinect camera. The result from this study found that the anxiety and depression level were recognized by using these techniques. Other than that, Webster and Chilek present the review of research about Kinect-based for elderly care and stroke rehabilitation system. And the result from this research provide an overview of the state of the arts, limitation and new issues concerned in this direction. Finally, Sciopedia has discussed how Microsoft Kinect could be utilized for different kind of purpose, which relate to rehabilitation, physiotherapy, rehabilitation for stroke patient. And based on that, the objective of our paper is to introduce an interactive art therapy by using Microsoft Kinect for people who are suffering from mental health as needed non-verbal communication as mentioned before. In order to conduct this study, we need to develop interactive art therapy. So in the development of this project, is divided into 3 phases, which are phases 1 is enable Kinect node and calibration, phases 2 design particle and motion, and finally the third phases is creating effects on particle visual. In enabling the Kinect node and also calibration, Microsoft Kinect need to be calibrated, and the sensor need to be verified and to make sure it will working with the nodes that going to generate in this project. Based on the nodes, the design of the particle and also motion will be generated based on the nodes that we set in the Kinect sensor. So when the particle and motion being set, the effect for that particles need to be added at the final phases in order to create the visual effect for art therapy. This is the picture of phases 1, whereby the Kinect sensor is testing in order to calibrate it with the nodes. And this is phases 2, whereby the process of merging some of the visual node inside the touch designer. So when all of the process being not being generated, finally the visual effect being added, and the final phases we got the interactive art therapy with completes and test by the users. So after that, the result from the study, the instruments that we generate being sent to 30 respondent randomly, and all of the respondents give their feedback by answering this questionnaire. Due to pandemic COVID-19, only 5 respondents could be tested directly with this system, and the rest of the respondents giving their feedback by watching the video of interactive art therapy. So this is the result for this survey. First question we ask the respondent. The first question is, does the color of the visual make you feel calm and or relaxing? And 33% strongly agree that the color of the visual make them feel calm and relaxed, and only 10% of the respondent does not agree that the color of the visual will make them feel calm or relaxed. The other question is, do you agree that audio in this visual use could make you feel calm? And 40% of the respondent, which is majority, answered strongly agree. So this shows that majority of respondents agree that audio and visual use could make them calm. The third question is, after you interact with the visual, how do you feel? And majority respondent answered strongly very calm when they interact with the visual inside the art therapy. And question 4, do you think that these projects could help others to improve their mental illness? And 64% of them strongly agree that this interactive art therapy could help others which have a mental illness problem improve their mental health. This support by work done by Hyen et al. On finding the effect of art therapy with mental illness and health outcome, conclude that art therapy has the potential to promote mental health and reduce the mental illness. Finally, question 5. Based on your opinion, will you suggest this to those who have or facing with mental health problems? 70% of the respondents reply this question is yes. Majority of them will suggest this project who have facing with mental health problem their suggest this to those who have a problem with a mental health. They suggest this project is useful for them. So now I would like to show you the demo of this projects. In conclusion, this project on interactive art therapy has been successfully developed by utilizing Microsoft Kinect and also Touch Designer software. Most of the respondents agrees that interactive art therapy is effective and usable for people who are suffering from mental illness. Majority of the respondents strongly agree that with all of the questions we asked to them. Most of the respondents agree that interactive art therapy makes them feel calm and relaxed. The audio used with the visual art also makes them feel calm. When they interact with interactive art therapy, majority of the respondents feel very calm and would suggest this project for others to improve their mental health. Finally, this project has potential to help and improve the health of people who are suffering from mental illness which needed non-verbal communication. That's all from me. Thank you very much.